You're growing a lot. What do you attribute the growth to?
A couple things. One, I've got some really good agents. Two, the business model itself. Early on, I just learned there was a lot of money changing hands when a real estate transaction happened, and too much money changing hands. Someone's equity changing hands. I'd sit at a closing table, and my commission check, I think at times, was more money than they were taking out of their sale. And that to me was eye-opening. Let's say the major reason for growth is our business model. We charge a reasonable fee. We've adopted the slogan, honest advice, modest fees, and proven results. And I really think that that's us. We'll tell you the truth. We'll set an expectation that we'll stick to. We'll charge you a reasonable fee, and our houses sell.
What's a reasonable fee? Is what's out there unreasonable?
First of all, if we talk fees, there really is no traditional fee. I mean, real estate commissions are 100% negotiable. I don't think some people know that, but they're negotiable. Commissions are negotiable. And what I've found is we charge a flat fee. And I think that's a fair fee, because to charge a percentage of the purchase price just doesn't seem right to me. If you have a $150,000 house, and we compare that to a $600,000 house, we're talking about 4 times as much money for the house, so 4 times as much money in commission, when in reality there's probably more work on the $150,000 house. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that's good for the person selling their house, mostly the $600,000 person. If we'd put numbers on those, we could do that. And there's been a number, and it's 6%, that is charged by a lot of companies. We hear this. We've even heard of companies charging 7% on $400,000 or $500,000 houses. That's a lot of money. 7% of $400,000 is $28,000.
That's a new car.
I'm sorry, that's too much money. Because on that particular house, that is a new car. That's a nice car. You can buy a new car. You can buy 2 new cars for that if you buy the right ones. $28,000 is a lot of money. And again, I learned that early on. Like, I got a commission check for selling a house, and it was like $12,000. And I went back and did the math on it and how many hours I had into this. And I started to go, I'm not worth $1,000 an hour. I think I can really help people in this industry, and now I really can. That was then, and this is now. Now we're 7 years in.
People hear that your business model can save them money. They might be tempted to think that the company is cheap, and maybe what are they lacking in? If they're only charging this much, what are they lacking in? Where are they going to short us? Are they as good as everybody else in town as far as service goes? So how do you respond typically when someone asks, are you as good?
We're definitely not inferior. It may look that way because there's times when we charge a fraction of what someone else may charge for the same service. But let's look at this. What are we offering? Someone needs to get their house sold. Let's say, Ryan, you need to get your house sold. This is a service we provide. We'll help you sell your house. We do what I think every other company and or every other agent in town does. Our fee structures are different. We all use the same platforms. We go in and use the MLS. We all put a sign in the front yard. We all do a little bit of social media. We do these things. And if we looked on the MLS to see how fast houses sell, it really isn't about the agent or the company. This is really about the particular house. We can pull them up. The $150,000 houses, they last 30 days to 40 days. You get up to a $700,000 house, they sit for a year at times. And it's everything in between. So are we inferior? No chance we're inferior. We actually think about our client and how much money they will get out of their house when they sell it. And using a flat fee structure, which is a huge point. I'll come back to that over and over and over. And right now we're charging $3,250 to sell a house. Okay? We charge a little money up front because we don't work for free. I don't think working for free makes any sense.
I've heard of a retainer. So what does that mean that you charge a retainer?
It's a great question. So I'm going to say about 3 years ago, but I'm real bad with dates. we started charging a retainer, and it's twofold. There's two things I learned along the way. Of all the things, there's two major things. One, there's many times when we work for free, and I've heard that's just what the industry does. I'm not sure why that's the case, because no one else works for free in any other industry. So we work for free a lot of the time. So when we actually cash in on a client, we have to charge them more. So I've heard these things, and then I experienced this, and I thought I think the business model is broken. So let's fix the model. And the model says, let's figure out an average range of how long it takes to do a transaction. And let's charge that, but let's charge a little bit of money up front. So this could be $650 to $700 up front, and then we charge them $2,500 at close. So it's around that $3,200. It's a give or take. There's times when we have to charge a little more money for photos or for drone shots. So we have all of the things that the other guys have. We just take into considering how much money changes hands, because that's your house. Somebody's selling their house. That's a big deal to me. I laid in bed and stare at the ceiling and wonder, why did I just cash a $17,000 check when I have 20 hours into something? There's got to be a better way. So that's where the retainer comes in. That's where the flat fee comes in. It's just a different business model. And again, I've always been an entrepreneur. I'm a status quo guy. I don't like the status quo. I don't like it. It needs to go.